on one thing the whole show, you know, and just, you know, because only the fanatics did that. And I started saying, you know, Bob, we've been doing this show for 9 years since we lost George, and the listeners sure seem to like it, and it really, I think, is important for them. You know, he was a Beatle, and it's a Beatles show, and he sends me back another, you know, so I go in and I'm eating, my wife's like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh, nothing. And the whole time I'm eating, I'm like, what am I going to type back? Because it's so important, you know, when you email it, you convey your feelings. So I went back again, you know, and in between that time, Olivia Harrison sent me an email. And it was just one line, and it was, you know, Chris, I was thinking of you, thinking of George during yesterday's show. So I said to myself, that's better than anything I can come up with. So I just forwarded it, and I said, just got this from George Harrison's wife. It's good to keep the Beatles families happy. And I think his reply was something along the lines, well, even if you did an hour, I'm sure you would have got that same email. And then I said, no, actually, Bob, I think it's because we did 3 hours I got that email. Which brings me to this event tonight. And the thing that made George the coolest Beatle was he really cared about the fans. Small amounts of fans, you know, Apple Scruffs that hung out in front.
That's true.
I mean, I know the other 3 Beatles love the fans, but I can't see any of the other 3 guys inviting the fans into the studio to listen to a new song called Apple Scruffs to see what they thought, and just to take the time to write about fans like that. And it makes me think of you guys, because here we are, you know, out in front of here Monday night in the cold, and that's what I don't think my program director understands. And no offense against him, he wants high ratings, and he does, you know, the Ballad of Sir Frankie Chris might be a little over some people's heads. But I try to tell him, not these listeners, but, you know, this is part of the corporate world we live in. So don't write letters to him or anything. I can handle that myself. But I just thought it was great that Olivia sent that email, because it really kind of conveyed what I was saying. And the cool thing was, I mean, the 5 minutes that I went in to eat dinner, she sent that email, which makes me think. You know.
That's right.
So on that note, next Sunday, 3 hours of John Lennon. We'll see what email I get on Monday, right? Well, thank you all for coming out. And remember, you know, there is no comparison to George Harrison.